This is fun because this is not what I was trying to do at all. But here we are. Okay. We had some technical issues, and so I had to use my phone, but then I needed to change the settings. Anyways, I'll share with you because I'm just that kind of person. But hi, welcome. My name is Jamie Butler. If you are new to the channel, welcome. This is Casual Conversations. Today we're going to talk about angelic love and their support. So before we get into that, I am on my phone and technology is challenging me today. Colleen, I cannot set it because you went in and upgraded the image and stuff like that, and it made it default back to normal. So I'm gonna look like I'm on my phone instead of it having rotated. Unless, no, there's the door, guys. Okay, I'm done with it. Let's talk. If you're here with me live and even afterwards, please leave comments. We go back and we read the comments. If you have topic suggestions, something that you're diving into in your spiritual journey and you want to know more about, please type that up, write that out. We are a community that likes to support each other. So I want to hear about what's going on with you. You like my door? Amora's like, Mercury is entering Pisces today. Oh, it is dreamy communication. Can we make today a dreamy communication? Today, we're definitely going to be talking all about angelic energy, and I am learning a lot about angelic energy. It's not something that I have been doing all my life, mostly for my life. Dan, trying to get a hold of you these days. We'll be out in Arizona soon enough. Good to see you. So I haven't been communicating with angels for all of my life. Most of my life has been communicating with those who've passed on. So disembodied loved ones, animal companions, plant life, orc fields, things of that nature have been very vibrant for me. I remember as a kid, I grew up Baptist, and I didn't really align with what was being said in the churches, in the church that we specifically went to. And I wouldn't mind I would voice myself, like I would go, that's not right. As the preacher is going on, as a little kid, I would turn over and go, that's not right. I can only imagine. So I knew then that there was a lot more to this greater world that we're in, but I didn't have a deep understanding of what angelic beings were. So lately, they've been showing up in my healings. They've been showing up in conversations. They've been showing up in readings more than ever. And so, of course, as the common point, I have to ask, is there something going on with me that I'm now maybe in alignment with that kind of energy? Is it that I am needing to look into this frequency and didn't really feel like that was on par? So in meditations or just, being alert and aware, which I hope you do these check-ins too, as we're shifting through frequencies that are very unique these days, and asking, what is happening as a greater whole? Because I think we do as humans get into a bit of a hole. And if this has happened to you, let me know. Want to hear about it from you. And shout out to Angela in Florida. Hi. If you are having experiences in your spiritual journey and you slow down and you keep pointing the fingers at you, right? You're highly sensitive. You're reactive to other people's thoughts, emotions. You're reactive to the environments you get into. And it's like, this is happening to me, me. And you think, what am I doing wrong? What can I do right? What else can I add to my plate? What can I? And then you're not really getting anywhere. You're kind of spinning wheels and it feels overwhelming and it doesn't feel like good. When that happens, I want you to realize it's maybe not you. As humans, we're taught to say I and come from the I position. And it's true, we're only in control of I, this instrument, and then everywhere else we're, in unison, co-creation, You're not responsible for somebody else's feelings, but you're responsible for your feelings. You're responsible for the creation of your thoughts, but not for somebody else's thoughts. So when we start doing that, sometimes we can become so sensitive that we're actually feeling the greater whole, the greater consciousness. I'm going to pause. Thank you, Johnny Anderson, for the financial love. You share that it's CTT, Consciousness Transformation Techniques, the best thing to use to remove blocks to manifest. For you at this phase in your life, it's an incredible tool, is what I hear, Johnny. So I would definitely research and look into it more. So when you're highly sensitive like this, you might still be moving through life pointing the fingers at yourself. I have to change, I have to do something. When really you're feeling the shifts of your environment, the world, the other people around you. And when that's happening, you cannot control that. You are a co-creator to that. You're in control of how you can respond to that. But you are not creating it solely, if that makes sense. So there needs to be some language in us highly sensitive people where when we come into situations that we can't truly at that moment understand because it's new, that it's not just what's wrong with me, what am I doing, what can I do, start there first. I'm not saying ditch that, start there first. But if you can't find your answers when you're doing internal looking, open up and go, oh my God, that's right. I respond to the energy around me. Because what I'm finding is that these angels are showing up, this divine energy, if that helps. Because sometimes angels is closely associated to certain religions, and maybe that's not the right word for you and you don't really resonate with it. So we can use divine beings. These divine beings are showing up more and more and more. Let's really talk about this because it might be like knock your socks off moment. They're showing up to help us in our evolutionary jump and our awareness of our psychic intuitive abilities and what our instrument, our physical body, is actually capable of. So without me calling them forward and asking these divine beings to show up, they've been showing up and they are showing up for you. If it's not your jam, kind of like you're in my position where you're like, what do I do with this? But I'm seeing these things. They are anywhere between like 7 to 9 foot tall, and they look like beams of glorious light, and they have these swirls of energy behind them that absolutely replicate the appearance of wings. But depending on your perception, if you have a true belief system that angels have wings, then you are going to view them as wings. You're going to look through your own perception. What your belief is what will come to you. It'll filter through it. So if you don't have a belief around the divine beings, you'll see them as these big beings of light with kind of swirls and movements. And the movements of energy are really important to suggest what they are there for with you. So you think the position of their wings share a lot about what they are doing for or with you. Okay, so they're here and they're showing up. Here's the knock your socks off thing. Angels are divine beings, or divine beings are multidimensional beings. And so in our classic language, we can absolutely call them extraterrestrial, alien. I know a lot of you have very specific definitions and you'd be like, I would never call them that, Jamie, but go ahead and say it. But they are multidimensional beings. So they have been coming forward more and more, I think, because they've been in our language in a religious standpoint. Oh my gosh, Fran Mel is like, OMG, I've been seeing the beams of light. Pause right there and be like, hey, divine being, hi, angel, however you'd like to address them. I see you. So they are multidimensional beings of light. And I think that they're showing up more for us because of our belief system and hearing about them and seeing them in artwork, cherubs and halos of light around people's head, having it written in the Bible, having so much language around angelic beings. But if we really get down to it, they are not human. And we've been totally cool with that religion, whichever one you're in, that talks about angels as being totally fine. about talking about this multidimensional being walking along, supporting us, helping us, and being okay with it. It's because it was part of our story, part of our, you know, not origin story per se, but it's in there. And so in stories, we're comfortable hearing it, but we don't have many modern day stories that we talk about that's come from the past that share about other kinds of multidimensional beings. Can you imagine that if the divine beings that were talked about in the Bible were actually the reptilians? I'm pushing buttons here. Or Pleiadians or tall whites? I mean, tall whites and angelic beings are really, really similar. If you don't have a clear, like, third eye, it's a different feeling. You would feel the difference. Tall whites are more stoic, where angelic beings have this, even the male, they're androgynous, they have this deep, like, motherly love, like they're coming for you and just gonna like wrap you up. So right, Regina, what if it was the Greys that the Bible was talking about, and the Greys came down with their wings and they taught humans how to do this and they rescued babies and they did all this? Then we would have a language around Greys, and then we would go, oh yeah, Greys, well, I've heard of that, so yeah, they're maybe real, maybe it's a myth, I don't know. We've had language of multidimensional beings in every culture. We've had stories about them for centuries before the largest religion on earth, Catholicism, being Catholic, has come forward. And why wouldn't it be so absurd to think that there are different kinds of multidimensional beings, right? Fran Mel is like, thought about that when the Bible talks about Enoch disappearing. So thank you, Haley, for your permission about pushing buttons. But I mean, like, we need to, like, let's talk about it, because why wouldn't there be different multidimensional beings? And my perspective from where I'm standing, watching this happen in readings and healings and watching language change online, where more and more people are bringing forward angelic, divine being, multidimensional energy, it's time for them to come forward. And we can go right into all kinds of other talks about multidimensionals. And I'm trying to think about what it's called when we expose the paperwork. It begins with the letter D, and my brain is just like blinking. But disclosure. So we know we talk about this disclosure coming, which is we're in the year for it, and it's happening tenfold. I mean, disclosure happened years ago. Paperwork was put out about it. Now it's just going to speed up more and more and more. And I believe, from my standpoint, what I'm observing is the angels are coming forward first to help us get comfortable with multidimensional energy. That's like the bottom line. And it's almost like they're going to go, and you're used to us, and we love you. Mwah. We also have this, that, and the variety starts to come forward. Like, slow down. What are your thoughts on this? I know we were going to talk about kind of this their angelic presence, kind of why they're here, and the type of love that they have for us, with us, and their support. But I want to pause and thank Tony for this suggestion, and also reminding me to hit the like button if you want to support the channel. This really helps us a lot. And absolutely subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you can catch these casual conversations that we have, which I'm hoping you enjoy. Of course, I'm always looking for topics that you're going through and things that you would like for us to talk casually that seems so far outside of the box you don't know how to talk about it at all. These are the conversations I want to have. These are the hard ones, because we're normalizing that stuff, stuff that just few years ago, even last year, even maybe right now, is not normal. Normal meaning more than the average of people looking at it and going, oh, I agree to that. That's something I'm so used to, I don't even go, ooh, anymore, because it's just an angel walked into the room. It's fun. It happens all the time. We're not there yet. We see stuff, we experience, and we're wigging out a little bit. This is where we're holding the space to be able to talk about it. Deborah Surdy says maybe the different angels come from a different planet. They definitely come from a different dimension. Absolutely. And Darlene says they are helpers, but we have to ask for help. Just say it out loud. I need help. Darlene, that is such a strong point you're making. If we don't ask, we don't put ourselves in receiving mode. Naturally, as a human, we don't stay open and in receiving because we've been taught not to. We've been taught to be cautious. We've been taught to hold back, to be leery, weary, risk assessment, so that we have a higher survival rate. So we've walked away from staying open and receptive at all times. To come out into being more receptive, as Darlene is mentioning, it's time to ask for help. Sam I Am says, that makes beautiful sense. I had much experience with Angelic before multidimensional beings started to communicate because I thought it was scary before. Oh my God, and this whole time, Sam I Am, you've been communicating to multidimensional beings. So there's that. Isn't it wonderful? Johnny, I see you. So I'll answer your question and then we'll dive back into angelic love and what that frequency is providing for us at this time. And if any of you have angel experiences, please share them. I'd love to read that. Johnny's asking, when will I get back with channeling Eric on YouTube again? I remember when you were there over 8 years ago. Yes, I was very blessed to be the one to help Elisa to come into sharing her connection with Eric. And she is taking that absolutely where she needs to go. And it's very powerful in and of itself. I just needed a bit more autonomy in my direction and had other interests. So as of now, there's not a collaboration, but I do know there is a documentary coming out about channeling Eric, which is going to be very like deep and evoking. So do look out for that. My voice and experiences are all in that, and I think you'll get to hear the recordings that Elisa did when we had the original readings at that time. So that's going to be really powerful. Oh, Tony, thank you. I love when you guys share other platforms. So I enjoy Robin Dow's YouTube channel as she channels and shares messages from archangels regularly. I found it encouraging and it promotes reflection. So guys, take note. If that's resonating with you, check it out. That's one thing that's really important when you're energy sensitive and you come across whether maybe it's one word, a sentence, somebody's name, or a topic that your body goes, ooh, I want to hook into that, or I'd like to take a bite of that. I really want you to remember that because this energy is moving so fast now. 2025 is all about change. That if we don't slow down and take a note, write a note. Colleen does this all the time. It's so awesome. She's like, Siri, I don't know if I can say her name. She's going to disrupt my phone. Set a reminder, and then that notifies her later. Do whatever it takes to keep hold of those hooks and those aha moments so that you can stay on top of your own spiritual growth and evolution. So we get into angelic love. This support energy, kind of just like what Tony was sharing about liking Robin Dow's YouTube channel. I haven't seen it yet, so I'll definitely go over there and take a peek. Is that the presence of angels they've been with us for so long that their presence with us is a little bit more smoother than other multidimensionals. Where other multidimensionals arrive, we might have a little bit of nervousness or a reaction like, oh, what's happening? I don't feel right. Maybe I'm a little dizzy. Maybe, you have physical responses to how the communication is occurring. But angels have been co-creating with us on earth from the very beginning and very much hands-on. The love that they give is to help us build a stronger humanity and to remember how to love and care for each other. Think of some very basic core values in many of the religions that are out there. A lot of it is about integrity, responsibility of self, and then having this moral, like, longitude across the board about being able to come into relationship with the same level of integrity, acceptance, and honesty that you give to self. And guys, that takes some effing muscles. It's so much easier to say destructive things. It's so much easier to walk away than to stay. It's so much easier to cut people down at their knees or hips. I don't know where you want to cut people down, but to make them smaller and for you to feel bigger. It's a lot more difficult and it requires more muscles to stay. Kind of how there's more muscles involved in a smile than there is with a frown. There you go. So here they are, providing all the many different aspects of expression of love. Kim Gibbs is saying, I feel angelic love each day. I'm guided by this. My animals, my birds and spirit in particular, comfort me. And I would find this material existence almost unbearable at times without this support. Oh, Kim, I would so embrace you hardcore if we were standing next to each other. That was such a really like strong emotional statement. I hear you. Being on earth without this extra support and being sensitive can be extremely difficult and alienating and confusing. But here we are, and we're doing it, and we're here for great reasons. As Grace was telling me the other day, everything has purpose, and here we are with purpose. So let's not have avoidance get in the way. Let's approach this head on. We are going to be receiving this beautiful relationship with archangels. So there are many angelic beings. There's archangels, angels. You can read so much content out there, and they come at it just from different perspectives, which I think is wonderful. I've surrendered the whole I need a fixed system a little while ago because you can't find that in your spiritual evolution. You're not going to find a fixed system. We're all going to approach this so differently. So I encourage you to check in with different people how they view angelic energy. You'll find your own language. You'll find the way that you want to connect to it. That's what's going to be most important for you, to be able to talk about divine energy in that way, or multidimensional energy, and how it's supporting you. Maitland is coming forward with a series, an angel series. It's a 3-day, and you think I would put this to memory, but we're going to be working with Michael, Metatron, and I believe it's Raphael. And these three, and I had to do research because, guys, that's where I am. I went to many websites and I'm looking up things. I found this really cute quick reference Archangel chart. And Metatron is the angel of presence, sacred geometry, which I knew this, helps Earth connect to other planets. Did not know this. Stellar gateway chakra, higher chakra, ascension pathway, and mass healing. And he has been showing up in my 21 days of Reiki. And he's there. He did all this geometric work like around the chakras. They look like little cages. And when I tap back into the same people who were in the healing, like you can see the little like energy cages, and it's just so wonderful. Andrew, that's very sweet. I believe you, JB. You are an earth angel. Do you know you are? You help so many people with absolute openness and positivity. You have to be an earth angel. Okay, Andrew, that just makes me choke up. I don't even know how to respond to it. I don't know if I am. I don't ask those kinds of questions. All I know is I have the deepest desire to engage in the material and be really honest about it, because I needed that so badly when I was younger and it just wasn't there. I had this facade to it. You got to look like this, you got to act like this, you have to have this much money or that much money, and you have to have these crystals to do that and this and that and that. And I was always just trying to find my way, but it was somebody else's way. And I've been over that for a long time. I want everybody to find their own way. I think that's how we are going to stand united, is in our differences, not in us behaving the same. Just F that. I think the way that we behave the same is that we resonate in love. That's a nice commonality. But our biggest commonality is that we're different and we're developing with the assistance of angels. And I know that Uriel, Uriel is giving us information, wisdom, and knowledge about how to stand in differences and embrace them. Really, like, love them deeply and not go, why are you different? I don't like this. I can't be with this. It's uncomfortable. I don't feel supported. I don't feel, you know, how we sheeple, we act, we herd together and we become sheeple. We're going to be able to herd together, herd, not hurt, herd together, but in our differences. And that in and of itself is very different than what we've been taught or how maybe we've been reactive to groups, relationships, and communities from the past. We're not going to come at that the same way anymore. And a lot of that, I do believe, is because of our divine light energies coming to earth. And it is because of our guides speaking up. And it is because of your willingness to follow a hunch, to allow yourself to be that sensitive being that you are and say, this is happening to me. I need to talk about it. It's not fantasy. I'm not making it up. It's not my imagination anymore. Guys, I've been in this field for over 33 years, like actively practicing, talking, engaged, going to different countries, going to sacred sites. It's just, it's been a blessing. But I will tell you, I am like you. I am discovering new things every single day. And I'm figuring out ways to talk about it because I still have this human part inside of me that says, oh my God, Jamie, if you say that, you're going to sound like cuckoo. I still have a voice inside of me that wants to manage the way that I express or share who I am. And I work daily with that little voice to say, it's okay. This is nuts. Colleen, I blame this on you. I can't say it. You are safe. That's what I want to say. You're safe. So crazy. We're like spiritual warriors. Well, you know why? Come on, we're in 2025. Oh, Anthony. Hi. Jamie triggered my awakening 10 years ago. She's touched so many lives. So grateful. That's really sweet to hear. Thank you. Steve Whitaker. How are you? You're asking, do you use any frequencies? And if so, in what ways? I do. I do. I like to use hertz sound. And I really resonate with a 432, which is like a high solar plexus, low heart energy. And I really vibe with 6, my dyslexic is gonna get me, 639, 963. So I would surf through, to begin with, maybe tuning forks. I really love the sound of C and F together on a piano, like just the notes. So you can also look at notes to translate to frequency, and then you can get on Spotify, you can get here on YouTube, and look for people who are making frequencies in that bandwidth, and then play it at night, real low. Like, please don't, it doesn't have to be high, so low that it's like when you go to sleep, you know how your hearing increases and you can hear like the dog 5 houses down. Like, you turn it down so low that you can barely hear it when you're falling asleep. Your body will bathe in that energy, and it's been a game changer. It is unlocking stuff in the head. Dee, thank you so much. You know, after so long, why do I get choked up? Like, what is it? I want to talk about that so much, and then just like, stop it, Colleen. That was very sweet to say. She writes, "You are safe and provide so much safety for others." What? Those you can see watching that thing vibrate. Yeah. Mm. I don't know, if we were in the time of warriors and we had to carry swords and stuff like that, I would totally carry a sword. But for right now, it's about talking about what we're going through so we don't don't stay quiet, please. Even if it's like really wicked weird, don't stay quiet. I've got Colleen. She is like my rock and support for so many things, which her birthday is this Monday. So happy shout out early birthday, big 50, Colleen. I love you. Like I have her to lean on, and sometimes I look at her and I go, I don't know what to say. Like, is this real? So what I like about the angelic energy is that it has been on earth for so long that when it shows up, it has the wow factor, but it doesn't set me off into this like, is this real? Am I crazy? Is this nuts? It just puts me into this kind of frozen, okay, like that's what our energetic body can aspire to be, a lift. um, Irish Key, peace, love, and light sure would be lost without all you new beautiful souls and my invisible ones too. Blessings to you all. Love from the Emerald Isle. Yes. Oh, beautifully said. Hi, Jamie Bailey. Okay, I'm scrolling down because I don't want to miss some of these. Yeah, you're wishing Colleen happy birthday. Yes, I always feel like the emotions for me, like you're expressing, Jamie, are just the missing of home and feeling. Girl, yes, you've got me going. Missing home and feeling that love and safety from there. That's so real. I miss it. Whatever it is, I know it's there. Mm. Just gonna breathe. Oh, Maura shares, but all I've been going through, you're definitely one of the only beings to validate, believe, and try to help me feel safe. Oh, Maura, I'm hugging you so hard. Thank you. Jamie Bailey is also jumping in here. Remembering home and missing it makes it so hard to stay put and just be human. Yeah. So I tell you guys everything, and sometimes I feel like this is the Jamie Butler therapy show. But I really hope it just helps somebody else. I was in the kitchen with my husband and he was talking to me. My husband is a sweet and kind man. I often will refer to him as my wife. He kind of keeps the home steady, those classical old definitions of, a woman. And he does that energy. He does it so well. And I'm listening to him talk and I'm having this other parallel thought. Guys, I know you're doing this too because time is wobbling. And it's like I am seeing the situation from another version of myself. And I'm thinking, is this a psychotic break? No. In the past, I've taken myself through 3 different psychiatric evaluations. And because of these experiences, and I want to be responsible with my mental health, and it has been very helpful. Thankfully, each time I've told it, I am rooted in my thoughts and body. So I'm perceiving this conversation from another version of myself. And at the same time, I'm experiencing, Jamie Bailey, this grief because in this place, I'm no longer human. And I was grieving being human with my husband. That weird? I was like, usually I'm grieving about missing that. And it was just like this little mind melt. I was like, wow, there's a moment in time where, like, I might not recall all these details of you and what it feels like to be here. That was a trip. See, Jamie Bailey, I do that too. I also grieve. Yes. Hey, Sally. I did say I didn't believe in angels. I guess I do now. They're just multidimensional beings. If you believe in aliens, angels are right there with it. From my understanding, archangels have not incarnated as humans on earth. Other angels can incarnate as humans on earth or walk-ins on earth, but they're there to assist in humanity and, bottom line, baseline, bring up that love. How appropriate for us to talk about this on Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, the day to celebrate love, relationship, and connection. Kim shares, "You're so right. It's the longing for home that we all miss. The fact that part of my soul is there with my animal brothers and sisters in spirit keeps me going here. Namaste." Yes, we are actually everywhere all at once, but at this time, we're doing this, like Maitland calls this incarnation, an extreme sport. We're doing this very big extreme sport together, and we're going to prioritize this extreme sport because that's what we agreed upon. And that is sometimes difficult. Oh, this has been like so wonderful. We've kind of talked all around, but I'm hoping what has happened today is that it has loosened up your definition of angels, maybe taking them away from some of the religious context, bringing them into divine light, divine beings, and looking at their intimate purposes and different characteristics of what they're bringing in terms of love expression to people on earth. We kind of talked about Metatron. I think you're maybe more aware of Archangel Michael as a protector, Raphael as a healer, Uriel as knowledge. There's so many others, guys. And then I really have this distinct feeling that they're going to be showing up a lot more for especially those who've come to watch the video. So slow down, enjoy the ride, find somebody to talk to, find a Colleen where you can just sit there and go, what? Enjoy these big beings of light. Moore's like, how do you tell them apart? A lot of times I tell them apart by what they, I'm more clairvoyant, so seeing with eyes, by what they hold. Staff, sword, shield, books, they have, they present objects. And so for me, I identify mostly through objects, or I can identify through color of frequency, or simply ask, ask, ask. That's where we go back to, like, if you need help, ask for help. Hi, T-Lynn. Interesting. I've recently learned that I have warrior angel named Narsa that has been with me for lifetimes. Would love to learn more about him and when to communicate with him. Always, please. Don't let it be a win. And please don't let any of your intuition or psychic abilities be a tool or a technique. Use them always. It's not something that you put away or something that you watch the clock for or until you're in deep need. No. Our spiritual warrior stuff is we use it every day. We use it in every word we say. We present it every time we step into a room. Every time we take a step. It's us. Like, we're coming out unabashedly with our sensitivities and our abilities, and we're helping the evolution of this frequency on earth. Evolution of spirituality. Suki's here, sending you hugs. Sally says, missed my previous Oh, message that an angel turned up last weekend. I told them I didn't believe in angels, but there they were. Oh my God, I didn't see that. Sally, thank you for typing that up again. How funny. Like, there you are going, I don't believe you. Oh my gosh. Uh, I wish we were all in person. We could do what my teacher taught me was the angel walk. And we're definitely going to be doing this in Mount Shasta. We're about to put the dates up on the calendar. Late August, Mount Shasta. We're going to focus on telepathy. And then at the end of it, we're going to do this big angel walk experience. So, pretty excited. All right, I've kept you long enough. I'm really appreciative of your holding space, listening, your curiosity. And guys, if you ever feel like you're on your own, please know I can't. Jeez. We'll get through this. Hold on. You're not alone. Just know that some crazy white girl in Atlanta is like cheering you on big time. Just like rock solid. I love you too, Regina. It's just one of those dreamy emotional energy days, and it's showing up in my voice. Thank you guys for all the love, all the attention. Remember, it's not woo-woo, it's true. And for Colleen, happy birthday again. I love you. Bye, guys. Take care of